What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Straight Bet, and today is Saturday, June 7th. It's like 2 a.m. right now. I got work 8 a.m. So look, man, these lines just popped up. Full transparency for this video. I know you guys, I always make this clear, but I don't actually bet these plays right away. I post all my plays in the Discord. I wait for the lineups to come out for multiple reasons. So if you guys do want all my MLB picks, they are in the free Discord in the link down below. So make sure to check that out and join that if you want the plays that I actually bet. And also my boy JJ posts WNBA stuff in there as well. So make sure to check that out. Anyways, guys, this quick recap yesterday. Yesterday, I guess, yeah, it is yesterday because it's so damn late. But went 1-1 for literally minus no units. Bailey over 5.5 hits allowed. I know he ended at 5. He gave up like 5 runs, so did not pitch great, but all the damage was like big hits and stuff like that. Bryce Miller, I believe, only had 2 strikeouts. I could be wrong, but I think this was like a sweat-free winner. So, yeah, 2 plays, went 1-1 for literally no net gain, no net loss. So, yeah, whatever. Better than like going 0-2, right? So, I mean, whatever. I guess we'll take it. Anyways, guys, so like I said, man, it is 2 a.m. Look, I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna call any of these plays, right? You know, I've been saying like this is like what I would play if I played lines early. I'm not even gonna say that with anything today because I just don't think that's fair, right? It's 2 a.m. I'm not gonna post this video. I'm gonna schedule this for like 7 a.m. or something. No one's gonna get these lines. These lines literally released like 30 minutes ago. So it's like, I mean, these lines are gonna be all over the place. I'm basically making this video to say what I like and to say what to look for tomorrow. But I'm not going to say any of these are like plays because I know that no one's going to be able to actually play them. So anyway, guys, let's start with the strikeout projections. I'm just going to see what I like and look at them right away and see like why, you know, why I like these. So the first one that stood out to me was Gavin Williams under 5.5 strikeouts. So let's go to the Houston at the Cleveland Guardians game, zoom in a little bit, and let's go over to Gavin Williams over here. Let's see. So looking for splits right away, much better against lefties, and that's going to be an issue because I already see who they're playing, and they're playing against Houston, right? Houston is a massive righty team. Like I said, I think they only have 2 lefties, and this dude's a switch, Victor Caratini. By the way, guys, someone called me out in the comment section for not knowing how to pronounce any of the names and said, like, come on, man, you got to do better. I'm like, okay, sorry. I'm a casual, man. Knowing ball when it comes to baseball or MLB, do not know that. I do think I know what goes into making good projections, though. So hopefully that's all that matters. But yeah, guys, so that's probably going to be it, man. You know, really poor K multiplier against righties, and like I said, facing a ton of righties. And yeah, man, only comes out to 4.96. You look at a lot of these guys don't strike it. Actually, this is also why these guys really don't strike out to righties a ton either at all. Look at projected K rates for the Houston Astros. Look at it for yeah, their K rate versus right-handed pitchers. So yeah, I'm totally an endorsement for this. We can go back to the projections. Yeah, it's like he's not even projected for 5. You get a 5.5 line, a plus 125 out there, man. I think this like up to like plus 115 is probably a pretty good look. So keep that in mind for tomorrow. Next one, guys, Stephen Kolek seems to be having a pretty big edge to his over 3.5 strikeouts. Like I said, who knows if this line's going to exist in the morning? Like, who knows? These lines literally just dropped. So that's why I'm not saying these are plays or stuff I'd play because even I know like this is pretty egregious for how early I'm doing this when these lines just dropped. Anyway, San Diego Padres at the Milwaukee Brewers. So let's zoom in a little bit. Stephen Kolek is going to be up here. Yeah, guys. So he's been super efficient. He's someone I've noticed. He's been facing a ton of batters, man. Maybe one of these times he's going to regress. Who knows? But yeah, Stephen Kolek, not a huge sample size guy. Not a huge sample size so far, but he has been going super deep. His pitch count's been climbing and climbing. I remember this when I projected his pitch count because I do that manually. Yeah, so have him facing a ton of batters. You know, 25 batters is like a ton to face, and it's, you know, pretty hefty projection, right? But on top of that, K rate versus right-handed pitching, yeah, there's definitely some targets in here. Hoskins, Contreras, Isaac Collins projects to be, you know, striking out a fair bit. The rest of these guys, not so much, man. So this is one that maybe you got to be a little bit careful on, do a little bit more research. He's also not even projected to face a ton of lefties. Usually, you know, you get stacked lefties against you. So yeah, this one is probably one you got to do a little bit more digging on, but like it does seem promising, right? And I know Stephen Kolek. Let me quick check this over here. I just want to quick check to see what his actual numbers are. How many strikeouts he's had in each game. Because, like I said, I know he's been just like going deep. So yeah, I mean, I guess the 25 batters doesn't sound too crazy, right? Yeah, actually, it doesn't sound crazy at all, to be honest. Yeah, Steven Kolecki's over in 4 out of 6, had 3+ strikeouts in every single game. So yeah, probably does make sense, right? But also maybe just do a little bit more research on it, and maybe wait for the starting lineup. See if the Brewers even like add a couple more lefties into the lineup. That would definitely help Kolek's case a little bit. So yeah. All right, and obviously, guys, that 32%, that's a pretty big difference. So that's the one that I would probably just play. I personally would probably play blindly and trust my numbers on that one. Next one, Luis Castillo under strikeouts, guys. I know I'm gonna skip Palmquist. Palmquist has like a very, very small, like a 3 start sample size and or something like that. And it's just it's super small. So gonna skip Palmquist. I already, checked that a little bit. But Luis Castillo, 6.5 strikeouts, under 6.5 strikeouts, -135. Look, Bryce Miller, just he's another righty, and I know he had a rough time striking out the Angels, so maybe they're trending in the right direction. I know they've been pretty poor all year. One thing about Castillo is so they are going to face a ton of righties. He's just been super poor, man. He has been super poor at striking people out overall, especially Luis Castillo, guys. He's been a good strikeout person for the past like couple years and stuff, and he's kind of tailing off a little bit. Yeah, and like Shanul pretty low. I guess Ohop's kind of been nasty, but yeah. So of course, guys, the K rates against righties, aren't going to be great, but I think they are kind of trending in the right direction compared to like how they have been in the past, at least. I guess the one worry here, but this is obviously calculated in. You would ideally want Castillo to be facing a lot of lefties who he's really struggled to strike out. But yeah, still only gets him to 5.45 for Luis Castillo. I guess this is probably another factor helping out the ump. So we already know the ump. It's whoever umped last game who was at first base. He's going to be the ump. So does not have a strikeout friendly ump, has a walk friendly ump. So, tight zone. That might be another thing for Castillo that might stink a little bit. So, yeah, definitely have a really strong lean on Luis Castillo under. It's obviously not like a huge edge, like, how maybe this one is or Gavin Williams might be. But yeah, definitely a very strong lean to the under on Luis, 6.5. And let me quick check this as well. I know Luis Castillo, dude, there's no way he's had 7 strikeouts many times this year. Just quick pulled that up. He has not had 7 strikeouts this entire year, guys. So I don't hate this at all. Yeah, okay, guys. This is probably a really good bet, right? Luis Castillo legit has not had a 7 strikeout game in 12 starts. So yeah, man, probably a pretty good look. All right. So that's about it for the strikes. Quick pause in the action, guys. I'm going to quick shout out Novig. Novig is a peer-to-peer sports betting exchange. And guys, with MLB, in my opinion, is very, very tough to beat, especially if you're not getting the best prices in market. Novig, ProphetX, these peer-to-peer exchanges help out with that a ton, man. So look, being very, very sincere when I say this, guys, I seriously think Novig, ProphetX, peer-to-peers are an absolute must for the summertime. So make sure to download them. I got links to download them down below. And for Novig, when you're making your first deposit, use code BETTIN. That's BETTIN, and they'll give you a 50% deposit match up to $25. ProphetX got a little deal going on where you get 2% profit cash back up to $300. So just like when you bet, they'll give you some cash back and stuff like that. So make sure to go through the link for ProphetX. Make sure to go through the link through Novig, and specifically with Novig, make sure to use code BETTIN when you make your first deposit for like that, 25 potential $25. Okay, guys. So for the walks, like I said, they are obviously very skewed to the over. So you just got to keep that with a grain of salt. I don't really pay attention to anything that's like green unless it's like 50% plus. Then that stuff kind of starts to catch my eye. Let's start with the under one. Obviously, that's probably the one that's going to be interesting, right? It's like I know how my projections work. So if it likes an under, it probably really, really likes it, right? So Bryce Elder under 2.5 walks, -190. Obviously, guys, I do not endorse laying juice, like laying heavy juice whatsoever. You got to find something to pair with. But maybe so Bryce Elder, let's quick check it out. We got the Atlanta Braves I was going to say the 49ers, the Giants. That's how you know I'm a casual. But yeah, Bryce Elder. So if we go down to his walk stuff right here, only a 3.7% walk rate against righties, which is definitely going to help, especially when Giants are projected to have 5 righties, and especially, guys, 5 righties at the top of the lineup, where, if you can see here, Matt Chapman. I'm sorry, guys. Let me quick switch tabs. Matt Chapman is supposed to, be the last one who hits, or actually that's Willie Adames. Willie Adames is supposed to be like the last one who hits with how many batters he's projected to face. So yeah, it's top weighted to righties. That's obviously really good, man, for Bryce, who has been really good at avoiding walks against righties. And I'm sure that's factored in a ton. On top of that, man, there's no crazy walk rates. This is obviously really low, which is great. There's some 11s, which is like high, I guess, but there's no one who's like really, really a walk target. Projected walk rates are all really, really low too. So yeah, if you go to like the weighted projected stuff, it's all pretty damn low. So yeah, Bryce Elder under 2.5 walks, man. That sounds like a great piece for like a two leg. All right. Kevin Gosman, or not, Chris Paddock is at 2 walks. His line is plus 145, which is like pretty close to like a 1 line. So yeah, that's obviously like the biggest edge. And that's probably something I'll definitely dabble in. Eric Fetty. Let's quick go check Fetty out. I mean, this is another guy who has a 1.5 walk line, minus 185, but I have him at 3, which I said, but like I said, it's probably a little bit high, but um yeah, Fetty is the pitcher for the Cardinals. And let me quick stop being blind. Okay, playing the Dodgers. That makes a ton of sense. Okay, yeah. So Eric Fetty, he is over here. Really struggles to walk righties for sure. I mean, this is just pretty crazy, guys. Look at how much these Dodgers have been walking recently. Everyone in this lineup, besides like Pages and Teoscar, but like there's some ridiculously high walk rates. So yeah, anyone who's an above average, like who walks people more than average against the Dodgers, should definitely be walking 2 people. So yeah, definitely think that this is probably another good one. Maybe you could just do Elder under walks and then Fetty over walks. I think that can make a ton of sense. So yeah, Garrett Crochet. Garrett Crochet, he's a really good pitcher, by the way, guys. He's projected for 2.99. So okay, they're playing the Yankees. That makes a ton of sense. Another thing, guys. Yeah, walk rate. So this is the Yankees over here. Let me quick zoom in a little bit. Sorry, guys. I need to be doing that better. Yeah, this is the Yankees up top, man. Walk rate against lefties. This is last 60 days because there isn't obviously as many lefty pitchers. So I do last 60 days and then last 30 for righties. Aaron Judge has a 28% walk rate. That's insane. Goldschmidt, even look at Goldschmidt splits versus lefties and righties. That's crazy. 2.6% over the last 30 days, 17%. Grisham even got another 11% there. I mean, yeah, Aaron Judge is projected for like 0.75 walks. So, I mean, him over half a walk was probably a pretty good look if you can get a decent price on that. So, yeah, man, this makes sense. Garrett Crochet, let's see. This is him right here. He's also like going to throw 100 pitches, right? That's around his median. And the Red Sox starters have been ass recently. So, that's another thing too. So, yeah, definitely a little bit below average at walking people, right? But yeah, when you're facing this Yankees lineup and throwing 100 pitches, I would assume that you have 2 walks more than you don't. Okay, let's get over. So Jack Kohanowitz, another minus 135, 2.42. You got to love that for sure. And then Palmquist, guys, he's another small sample size guy. So yeah, a lot of cool walk stuff. Unfortunately, they're all like pretty damn juiced. So you definitely need to find, except for Paddock, pretty damn juiced. So you probably want to find pairings for that. And you could look at the strikeouts, look at some alt overs or alt unders, but probably mostly alt overs, right? Yeah. Okay. Hits allowed. Is there anything crazy? Yeah. I thought this would be here. So Jacob DeGrom over 4.5 hits allowed. I know it's Jacob DeGrom, right? But this dude is just a different pitcher this year. He's really not striking people out. He's really pitching to stay healthy. So yeah, 4.5 line. I have him at 5.25. Let's quick go over to DeGrom here. Texas at Washington. So yeah, zoom in a little bit. Let's quickly look at Jacob DeGrom, and even like this is like the projected numbers for him. They probably haven't caught up enough yet, especially his against righties. Right, he has really struggled to strike out righties. And look, the Nationals have the ability to go 9 lefties, and that's what the projected lineup has him for. So let's quick go down to this. And yeah, Jacob DeGrom, obviously a great pitcher, but much better at not allowing hits to righties and much worse against lefties. So yeah, man, facing potentially 9 lefties, obviously watch out for the actual lineup. And, if there's like 3 righties or something, that could definitely throw this off. But yeah, Nationals have the ability to go 9 lefties. That's what the lineup projects them for. So yeah, I'm tending to agree here, man, with Jacob DeGrom over over on hits allowed, and yeah, not a ton of strikeout guys besides James Wood. James Wood definitely probably is going to strike out a fair bit, but the rest of these guys pretty low K rates versus righties. So all you really want is a ton of balls to be put into play. For hits allowed, that's all you can really try to project is how many balls are really going to be put into play. And yeah, it seems like DeGrom really probably shouldn't have a ton of strikeouts here. Obviously, he's not going to walk a ton of guys, so yeah, should be a decent amount of balls put in play. And if it's 9 lefties, I'll definitely probably be on that too. All right, guys, that's gonna do it. Look, I know this is a different type of video, but if you did like this type of content, even without any like quote unquote official picks, I hope someone found this useful. And if you did, make sure to drop a like, sub to the channel, comment down below, all that good stuff. So yeah, thank you guys once again for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys next time.